Greetings, everybody. I'm here with my wife, Rebecca, today, and best friend. And we wanted to talk about acceptance. This is something that was posed by one of our regular watchers, and he asked, could you do a video on acceptance? And his question had to do with when you find yourself kind of stuck someplace in life.
Well, I think when we feel stuck in life and we're trying to accept the stuck place that we're in, I can see the value of that, but I also feel like we need to investigate a little bit and use that as a warning sign for, okay, I'm unhappy or I'm uncomfortable or there's something going on that I don't like and I wish that I could accept it. And the first phase, whether or not you think that it's a good thing to accept or you think you should change it, is you just notice, okay, there's something here and I need to investigate it.
Yeah, that's really important because I feel like in our culture we're often just taught to accept in the sense of settling for often less than who we are. You know, get a job that makes sense. Don't get a job that's really going to stir your passions or utilize your highest skills. And so if we're going to be saying, I want to learn about acceptance, one of the first things we have to do is say, why are we accepting? We're finding ourselves in some sort of resistance to our current situation that we feel like we have to shift or transform. Sometimes that can just be that our situation is good, but our culture teaches us always to want more. So that's, I think, the key question. Are we just stuck in the grass is greener on the other side of the fence? Or are we genuinely in a place where our gifts are not being utilized or given to the world?
Personally, my opinion is that it's really good to ask ourselves that question, dig a little deeper. Am I just settling? Or what is it that's going on here? And once you've identified that, then you might say, yes, it's appropriate for me to develop some acceptance skills so that I can be content where I am. I feel often when we say acceptance, what we're really looking for is how can I be happy where I am?
And if that's, if your outcome of that question is, I am just stuck in grass is greener on the other side, then all we have to do is develop acceptance, appreciation, gratitude for what we already have. If, however, we're asking that question and we're saying, okay, what I'm really saying here is I want to be able to accept that I'm stuck in this job for the next 3 years because I have a plan to pay things off or whatever, and I want to be able to be present in this for the duration of that 3 years. But that's the key, is that we have a plan, we have developed motivation, we know that we are not settling in this case, but that we are committing to something because we have seen the good in committing to it for a certain amount of time, but that we've committed to something beyond that. And this doesn't have to be something we hold on to. We want to be open to change, but to say, I'm going to work at this job for 3 years. I'm going to save up the money because I really want to open that ice cream stand
or build a
in the
house
Antarctic,
on
whatever it
my
is.
property so I can live sustainably. Or it could be a diet or a lifestyle change that's more healthy for you, but boy, is it really hard right now to give up your Fruit Loops or whatever it is. But you realize, I've made this commitment, I need to stick with it. How can I accept and be happy where I am right now, be present? So I feel like if I could jump in and start the ball rolling, one thing to me about when we start to ask that question is that when our life has routine and when we get into a habit, we kind of begin to form a rut. And we can form a rut with our activities by taking the same route to work, stopping at the same coffee shop, ordering the same thing every morning. And then that also puts our brain in a rut. We make the same judgments, we look at the same person and go, oh, over and over again. So I feel like the first thing to do is to give ourselves a boost of surprise, to make life feel exciting. And that way, what I feel that it's been shown that we really crave novelty as human beings. And that's why a lot of times, you can endlessly surf the internet. I've seen that, looking for that new thing. What is new? What is interesting? When you think about seeing something that you've never seen before, your brain just doesn't know what to do with it. So I'm here to say, break your routine. Break the routine of your life. It doesn't have to be crazy. It could just be, like you said, I know I'm going to stick with this job for the next 3 years. I have a plan. I'm going to build a tiny house. I'm going to live in the country. Whatever it is, that's your plan. Take a different route to work. Order something different at the coffee shop. Try a new food. Try cooking something for the first time by yourself. Get outside into nature and decide to notice that for a moment. Nature is different all the time. It gives us different clouds, different light, plants and birds we don't know. Break the routine, because then at least you have a sense of you never know what might happen, and that gives us a little bit of savoring of life.
Yeah, I think I've spoken about this in videos in the past, of stepping just a little bit off of your path. And that is it. So much of the time when we're saying, I want to accept where I am, what we're really saying is that our mind is just dulled into oblivion by the kind of stuff that our culture dishes out, which is you come to work and you do the same thing for 8-9 hours each day, and often there's no varieties. There's nothing to stimulate that novelty sense. But there's that person right across over there that everybody thinks is a jerk, that you could go over and talk to and see if you can open them up and find out who that person really is. There's that little cafe that looks maybe even a little sketchy or strange, but you're going to go there for lunch, whatever it is. Something that just steps you off that rut, that path, and gets you into novelty mode, because there's literally novelty just inches off of our path, usually in either direction. But we're usually so scared and so constrained in our actions that we don't even look over at that person and say hi, because we deem them too attractive to talk to or something like that.
Yeah, I feel that seeing things with those lenses of newness is a skill you have to teach yourself.
Yes, it is. It's shrinking again.
Our camera keeps falling.
A camera keeps sinking into the soil.
I felt like I keep going scrunching. You never know what's going to happen. And that's the thing.
In the woods. You never know what's going to happen.
I think in life we want to know. You never know what's going to happen, and you want it to be good. You don't want to believe that everything is laid out just the way you think it is, right? We always think we know, but we really don't. And you can cultivate that. You can cultivate that as a way of seeing things with new eyes.
Yeah.
I think another thing for just kind of getting outside of our own paradigm that we're locked into is to step outside of ourselves, right? Because we can be humdrum, okay, here's the routine, I do this every day, I'm never going to get out of it, or I'm going to get out of it in 3 years, but and if we keep talking like that, that self-talk is going to bring us down. If we start looking at all the things we don't like and we're focused self, what do I have? It's not so great. So that's where I think volunteering, stepping out to go for a walk, run for a charity that you believe in, or helping your neighbor next door carry her groceries in, or stopping to help somebody get their dog that's run away from them and might go out into the street. Any of those little tiny things. They could even be bigger things. You could volunteer at an organization that you believe in, Big Brother, Big Sister, or walking dogs for the Humane Society. There's thousands of places out there, little ways that you can step outside yourself for a moment to see that you have value, that who you are is of value to the world, and it gets you out of that inward focus where you're saying, oh, I can't handle this anymore. You go, hey, this isn't so bad, because when I get off of work today, I'm going to go and help so-and-so. It feels so good.
Oh, it's one of the biggest virtues that's often missing in our mainstream culture, is this idea of going outside yourself, volunteering, helping others. And it's, they've shown over and over again that this actually develops happiness in us, much more so than getting things for ourselves when we can give to others. So in a strange way, you're actually making yourself more happy
Right.
by reaching out and doing this
Right.
and helping other people.
In the end, it's everybody is win-win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that makes me think about something that's really important. Whenever we're in a situation that we feel we can't change or that we've accepted for a while and it's maybe not our favorite thing, a cultivation of an attitude of gratitude. If we can stop pointing out all the things we don't like, and hey, once in a while we need to vent. You're just gonna go for it. You're gonna be like, I am so grumpy today, and can I sit down with you, dear friend, and tell you all the things I just do not like? You gotta get that off your chest sometimes. But I feel that cultivating the things you appreciate, and sometimes you were talking about this, instead of feeling that you have to do something, feeling that sense of, oh, I'm able to do this. Wow, check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to do the dishes versus, wow, I have hands. I can see. I'm well. I have warm running water. Even those basic little tiny things, let alone, wow, I live in this great house and I'm going to go out in a little while to go for a hike. Focusing on the things that we're grateful for.
These are great. Because it's, see, this is the source of all my wisdom.
I don't know about that.
Gratitude. And that the dishes is just such a perfect example. Because in all these things we do, these mundane tasks, we have that choice in each one to be like, I gotta do this again. Or I'm able to do this. This is something that even going to the bathroom. I remember reading about this woman, and she had, I don't know if it's cancer or something, and she couldn't go to the bathroom anymore. And she was saying, if only I could go to the bathroom, how much gratitude I would have for that simple act.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
I think our forest monks, when they come out here, they're kind of grateful for a change in being able to go to the bathroom. They discover squatting and being out in nature, and they're like, hey, pooping is awesome. Right?
it's so true.
No, a lot of them say that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think the important thing to remember is that we can, in every moment, make a choice about how we want to see something and how we want to encounter life. Are we going to choose to follow that routine pattern? Are we going to choose to find an excuse not to engage with someone, not to volunteer our help and our gifts to the world? Are we going to choose to be grateful for something? What is the choice that we're going to make? And sometimes the choices are hard. We won't always do the choice that we want to, but taking notice of that and saying, what if I do this? How will I feel? And then trying it versus just the same thing all the time. We can choose our life.
And that, be careful with this, because this can become a self-punishment mechanism of, so why am I choosing this or that? Realize that we have habits of choice that we have made in the past. And those habits, they've worn grooves in our minds, so that it is difficult to step outside of that. We have to give ourselves a break and say, I'm gonna start making an effort, but realize it's not gonna be that easy. And those times when you find yourself failing, just step back onto track. We don't have to use any energy in self-punishment. It's just come back to realizing I have a choice in each situation. I can see this as novel and amazing. I can see this as humdrum. If I fell into seeing it as humdrum and then I went home and binged on ice cream and movies because my day was so boring, step back on the train the next day.
We're human beings. Realize, hey, how would you treat a friend of yours who said that? You would say, hey, bud, it's okay, It's all right. Once in a while, you just got to do that. And, start again. No big deal.
Yeah.
Have fun with it if you can. Have fun with it. Make it an experiment and wonder, have that curiosity. And don't be too hard on yourself.
Oh, that's done amazing things for me. 'Cause I've gone through so many ups and downs of trying to be something and then finding myself failing at it over and over. But if we can let go, be ourselves, then this amazing growth can happen. The moment you're in right now, it can be amazing. It can be mind-blowingly amazing. And whatever it is, whether it's work or it's a relationship, we have this choice in every moment to let it become or to be engaged and to see the wonder of the moment that we're in right now. So get conscious about that. Make that choice to be living in this moment.
I think you can start small. Take easy, different things. Just be grateful for one thing when you wake up and one thing when you go to bed, and start from there. Pick one of the things from this video and say, okay, I'm gonna volunteer my gifts somehow today, and I'm gonna think outside myself. So
Start developing those habits.
yeah,
Change
ask
will come.
yourself the question, am I just settling? Start with that initial, what is this about? And then with the acceptance thing, break the routine, step outside yourself, cultivate gratitude, and make the choice.
Yeah. Perfect. Let us know in the comments your experiences with this. Have you had to find acceptance with certain things in your life? How did you do it? Was it mental techniques? Was it meditation? Was it religion? What brought you to a sense of peace and wonder in life? If you're struggling, share those struggles. Can't wait to hear from you in the comments.